Hey everybody, welcome back to the Pro Antagonist channel. Today we're going to do an Attack on Titan character tier list, since I've got an Attack on Titan video coming out tomorrow. So we're going to go over all these characters. Not all of the characters in Attack on Titan, but a lot of prominent ones. We're going to go and figure out some of these weird tier names, because this one had stuff like a-hole in this, censoring it just for the first 30 seconds of the channel. I didn't want, or first 30 seconds of the video, didn't want YouTube destroying me. They Alright is probably not a great name either. So I'm gonna switch this one to a meh, because I feel like that's the same. And no, actually I'm gonna say lame. And then this middle one is actually going to be something, I'm gonna say sucky, then good. Because a lot of these characters were sucky then good, or good then sucky, either or. Just one point in the series, terrible, later on, pretty good. It's kind of what happens to a lot of these characters. Unfortunately, a lot of them, it's too late for them. But we're going to start, I guess, in order on this tier list. We got Annie, and oh boy. I think they're in alphabetical order, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, it seems that way to me. So, we're going to start with Annie, and we're going to say lame. Because she is actually not all that interesting of a character. She's just kind of like moody and kind of, emo. Kind of just relatively dark, depressing. Not all that interesting of a character. One of the worst, she's part of one of the worst plot twists, no spoiler. In terms of predictability, I saw that coming a mile away. But let's see, Armin, another A. He is alright. I feel like he's kind of the sucky then good. Sort of epitomizes that tier pretty well. Then we have Berthold. And I guess I should say more about Armin. He is kind of third wheel of the series. Still pretty good. Kind of tactical, but not the best tactical character. He's kind of an okay character. That's kind of what I'd go with. Berthold, terrible. He's a spoiler, but not that all that impressive. Just kind of not much of a character all the way through, all the way to the end. Kind of terrible. Unlike his counterpart. And then we've got Connie Springer. Also lame. He had no character development whatsoever, despite being one of the main cast. That's pretty much it. Eren Yeager. Main character. He's also sucky then good. He's sucky for the first 3 seasons, where his character is just, I'm determined. Determined to kill Titans. I want revenge. And also, I slightly doubt myself sometimes, just like every other protagonist in all of fiction. And then we're going to go with Erwin. He is excellent. He is by far one of the best characters, even though he's not, like, I don't like him. I actually don't even like his character all that much. I just think he's a well-written character. We get this guy. I can't remember his name specifically, but he's with Gabby. I'm going to say that he's kind of in the lame tier, maybe. He's kind of a plot device more than anything else. Unfortunate but true. I feel like he's not all that interesting of a character. Then we got Gabby, who's actually pretty good. I did like her sort of contrast with Eren, showing how things happen in these conflicts in these societies. I honestly do not remember who this is. We're just gonna say kill it with fire, because for some reason, I don't remember. Either I don't remember or I don't recognize them. And we've got Hanje Zoe. And she's pretty good. I mean, I'll say the bottom of great, because she's kind of a wacky, interesting character, but also not that amazing. Then we have this man. We have him. And he's okay. I'll put him at the top of here. He's not terrible, but he's not great either. Honestly forget his name at the moment, because he wasn't in all that much. Although he was kind of crucial earlier on, I believe. And we have Krista, and oh boy, she's just not even sucky then good. I feel like that's a little bit much praise, because her character is just sort of, I am a plot device, hear me roar. Kind of again, just like this kid. And she's slightly more annoying, so I'll put her next to him. And then Jean. John is one of the sucky than goods, but he's more of a good than sucky because he has no character development past like season 2. Kenny Ackerman. Kenny Ackerman is amazing. He is actually one of my favorite characters. Very kind of cool villain. Very much contrasts and is very good to pose against Levi Ackerman, who is the best character. It says greatest of them all. It was on here before I got here. I'm going to leave it that way because Levi deserves his own tier. No one else really touches him in terms of badass, in terms of good character, in terms of character development. No one on here is really all that good compared to Levi. The full package here. And Mikasa Ackerman. Notice how these Ackermans end up being actually pretty decent. I'll say she's in the greats. She's sort of the good then sucky again, but she's good enough to the point where I'll leave her in great for a while. Peak, I believe. This is Peak. Yeah, Peak. Peak is alright. I do like her. She's actually one of my more sort of favorite quirky characters. I sort of feel the same way about someone else on here, but I'll say that Peak is more of an interesting quirky character, a lot more relatable kind of mood and everything. We have this guy who's not terrible. I mean, I'd say lame, but lame is a little too harsh. Honestly, can't remember his name. Believe he is Mr. Jaw Titan. And we have Reiner. Reiner is actually really good. Like, really good. Like, really, really good. He's basically the top of sucky then good. Because his character also becomes really good, just like Eren. I'll actually move Eren above Armin, because Eren's character is really good too. These two guys, not great characters until the final season. They were actually much, much better when the anime basically turned into a different anime. Rod Rice, Kill It With Fire. Sasha, she's kind of lame, but she's at the top of lame because she's kind of relatable in some ways. She's a very hungry gal. I think this is a Titan. We'll Kill It With Fire. We got Ymir. And I do believe I'll put her in... I would put her up higher. She's kind of a sucky then good, I will say, because she does end up being pretty good towards the end of her character arc, but also kind of weird and crazy. So I don't think she's that good. And then we have Zeke. And Zeke goes immediately to the top of great. Honestly, if I were to separate into even more tiers, Levi would have his own tier, and then Zeke would have his own tier, and then the rest of these guys. Because Zeke is a really well-written villain. Perfect sort of, like, maniacal, maybe Machiavellian mastermind. Maybe Machiavellian isn't the right word. Maybe relatable, but also very cunning. I don't know. Zeke is a pretty good character. And I'd really categorize these as, like, he's an actually top tier character. These are all really decent characters to some varying degree. Maybe not in the right order, like if I were to rank them as favorites, but just kind of ranking them as characters. Obviously, Gabby was pretty interesting. Mikasa's okay. Not always the best, but still pretty good until she becomes a potato in season 4. Who was then directly eaten by Sasha. Maybe. Peak is kind of cool, but not a lot to work with. Hanji is kind of too weird sometimes. Reiner is pretty decent. I would put him up here, possibly more so. Erwin is very cool and interesting, but sort of at some points he's also not like super likable. And that's kind of what I feel like his character, where his character could really improve, is to be a little bit more likable. I mean, he's actually one of the good guys, and this guy's a villain. He's a lot more likable. In some ways, Zeke is too, but Kenny Ackerman's a lot more likable than than Erwin, and Reiner's a lot more likable than Erwin too. But them's the breaks. Reiner was just too sucky earlier on, and then like I might look absolutely stupid, but I'm pretty sure these are all the correct characters that I'm saying the names of. Yeah. For some reason, I just don't remember who this was. I don't know why. Hopefully it's not that important. And also, I think this is just a Titan. But I could be wrong again. I don't know. Anyways, definitely be sure to like, comment, subscribe if you hated or liked any of my opinions on these. Definitely feel free to comment what you'd like to see me do a tier list of next. That's very helpful, as there's the world to tier list. And I can only tier list so many things at a time. I only have so much time. Also, be sure to hit the bell for notifications so you're notified if I upload anything. And of course, tomorrow, once it drops, watch my new Attack on Titan video where I discuss why I think it might be a little bit overrated.